Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our political podcast. We call it The App. Has nothing to do with computers. Stands for Arklatex People and Politics. I'm Jeff Beimfohr, and our really special guest today is Louisiana Congresswoman Julia Letlow. Julia, always a pleasure.
So great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. There's so much to talk to you about, but I know you were out and about in Louisiana today down in Ruston. Tell us what was going on there.
I was so excited to join the governor in announcing an $80 million investment between Radiance Technologies and Louisiana Tech University.
Yeah.
It's going to create 150 permanent jobs in North Louisiana. These are high-paying jobs. So, you know, I've always said that the public-private partnerships are the way to go. When you have industry come in and partner with our universities who are producing that amazing workforce, those students fall in love with the companies and decide to stay and get married here and raise their families here and become productive citizens of Louisiana.
Well, that's, and you know as well as anybody does, there's been an outflow and out-migration, right? So things like that are needed.
That's right. We have to do something about it, and I'm so grateful to Bill Bailey for investing back in North Louisiana. This is where he went to school at Louisiana Tech, also came over to Minden to live for a while, and just wants to give back. He lives in Huntsville, Alabama, but wanted to get back to North Louisiana that gave so much to him.
I didn't realize that.
That's right.
I think I did this other podcast for a while, and I think we had him as a guest on there.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, he was a neat guy.
Absolutely. What an incredible story, too.
Well, let's talk about what's going on in Washington, D.C., because there's hardly anything going on.
Oh, sure.
The big, beautiful bill, everybody wants to talk about that. I mean, even if they don't understand it, well, I can't promise you I understand it. There's so much in it. What's great about it for A, the country, and B, Louisiana?
Absolutely. So it's close to 1,000 pages. And so if you want some light reading, you can go through the bill. But I promise you, if you do that, you will find something that will benefit you. So our charge is to go all across the state and tell people a little bit about it, what's in it. So we have some amazing tax breaks, incentives, especially for hardworking middle-class families.
That's good.
People like me, moms and dads who really depend or are grateful for that child tax credit. I believe it went from $1,700 to $2,200. Even for our senior citizens to be able to have that deduction on their Social Security taxes. I've heard from so many of them.
Can you explain that a little bit? Because I'm trying to understand it. Like I take Social Security, but I'm still working. So how does that affect somebody like me?
Yeah, so I believe that once you are accruing all of your Social Security, that's when that would kick in, and it's up to $6,000 in deductions. So when you do the math, that's roughly 80% of people who are receiving their full Social Security benefits. So it's my understanding that'll kick in whenever you start to receive all of your benefits.
Okay, well that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then so let's talk about agriculture.
I was going there.
Yes, I had a feeling agriculture is my number one industry in my district. But for the first time since the last farm bill, we were able to increase the reference prices on the commodities that truly needed it. So I hear from my farmers all the time, our row crops, corn, cotton, soybean, all of that was included. And so now, yes, while we need to have a farm bill, and you're always going to find me fighting for that, they're calling it, I was just listening to the speaker earlier today, called a skinny farm bill, because we were able to include so much of what we normally do in a farm bill in the one big, beautiful bill. So I'm excited about all of the things that were included in there. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime are probably the things that you've heard. But I believe when everybody goes to file their taxes next year, you're really going to see a difference.
So I'm going to be happy then?
I hope so.
Me too.
I'm planning on being happy too.
Because I haven't been too happy for the last few years, I can tell you that.
That's right.
I did want to ask you about agriculture and tariffs. And I read somewhere that you were proposing an account where I guess some tariffs would be pushed into that account to help the farmers out. Explain how that was going to work.
Sure. So it's my responsibility absolutely to listen first to my constituents. And a lot of them are farmers, and they have expressed some concern about the tariffs and how they will affect agriculture in our state. And so my team put our heads together and we thought, what can we do to try kind of alleviate some of those concerns? And so we put forward this bill that would garner some of those tariffs that we're receiving in savings and put those in a separate account for the Secretary of Agriculture to have at her discretion to be able to distribute to our farmers when they are suffering or encounter tough times, and especially if their farms have any unintended consequences due to tariffs.
Sure.
Then she would have that discretion to deliver those monies directly to them.
Well, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Where are we without farmers?
Exactly.
Right?
Right. A matter of national security. We have to be able to feed ourselves. It's not just about putting food on the table. It truly is being able to defend ourselves from foreign adversaries.
Absolutely. So, any idea what kind of money we're talking about? What's the amount that would go into that account?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
It's a lot. I know we're getting a lot in tariffs.
Right. We get different figures from the administration, but I'm hopeful that, we had full support from the Agriculture Committee. We ran all of this through them. So I'm excited to take it to my colleagues whenever I get back to D.C. starting September 2nd and really sell it to them to see how much we can.
Have you heard from some of the farmers in your district about this? What are they thinking?
It's just a little unease. I think a lot of people have been impressed with the way the president has been able to negotiate and get his desired outcome. I try to tell everybody when the tariffs first kicked in, it's going to be okay. Let's take a deep breath. The president's playing the long game. He wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. So I think that he truly knows what he's doing. And we've been able to see that play out. And I think as they've seen that play out, it's alleviated quite a bit of their fears. But I'm always here willing to listen. And I think most of the country is hopeful. Take the shrimpers, for example. My goodness, they finally, China and other countries are being held accountable for bringing foreign shrimp and crawfish and other entities in to ruin our seafood.
So what else is going on in District 5? It sounds like there's quite a bit happening.
Absolutely. Well, it was incredible to have the Secretary of Education.
Right. I was going there too.
That's right. In Baton Rouge, over the August recess, they call it a recess. It is no recess for us.
Right? Yeah.
We probably work harder when we're in districts because we're just running around all 21 parishes. But again, it's my favorite time of the year.
Sure.
But I was able to be with you and Secretary McMahon.
That was neat.
That day. Wow, what an incredible experience. And
I really enjoyed meeting her.
Yeah. You could tell she's really there to listen and soak up as much as she can. And so she's able to go back and she talked about a plan that she was going to be putting forward about what the education is going to look like as a whole. She talked about, paring down the Department of Education, if not dismantling it altogether. So I look forward to seeing what her plan looks like when it comes out. But again, I asked her what she's been up to, and she said, "I'm just trying to get fired."
Fire herself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think President Trump said he wants her to be the last Secretary of Education.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
And I think she's okay with that.
Yeah.
She called it, we call it, I did, that day. I said, you're dismantling your own department. She goes, well, we kind of refer to it as returning education to the states.
That's great. Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, and it's time. I mean, for so long, the Department of Education has abused its authority and power, and we do it right in Louisiana.
It seems that way.
Yes, we're headed in the right direction, and I've just found that the more that you can get the federal government out of people's way and out of our business, we know how best to educate our children right here at home.
I 1,000% agree with that, right? And, we talked about with the secretary that day. For a few years now, parents have been really taking it on the chin in education. Like she said, someplace they call them terrorists or the domestic terrorists. That's ridiculous.
They absolutely were. So during COVID, especially in Virginia, when you saw all of that erupt, for the first time, parents were finally seeing what their children were being taught. And when they didn't like what they were seeing, their child's curriculum, they lawfully went to their school boards, voiced their concerns, and were either shut out, turned away, or labeled domestic terrorists by our own government and put on watch lists. That should not happen. And so that's why we all got together, and I filed the Parents' Bill of Rights that actually went through Congress last Congress. And never in a million years did I think we would need a Parents' Bill of Rights on a federal level, but we found ourselves in that position hopefully never again.
That was a great idea, by the way.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty well received, too, I think.
It was. It really was. You know, we have a Parents' Bill of Rights in Louisiana. That's where I got the idea from. It was bipartisan. You know, most people agree. I think my colleagues on the other side would even agree. They may not openly tell you, but we all can agree that parents should definitely have a say when it comes to their child's education, and at least be in the know,
of course,
of what library books are in their library, what their child's exposed to. If there's any violent crime on their campuses, parents should be notified. These are just common sense.
I feel like, and I've said this before, my daughter's way past that age at this point, but she's like 30.
Yeah.
But not that far.
Not that far.
Not that far. But if she were going to high school again today, I'm not sure I'd put her in public school.
I know.
Isn't that sad?
And that's why we're at this juncture where parents should have a choice. And if your child is in a failing school, you should have the option to send them to a thriving school. And that's why Secretary McMahon, and I'm so thrilled that she's a big proponent of charter schools and school choice. And so anyway, it was just great to learn from her.
Yeah, you got to play reporter that day a little bit.
I did. I was able to interview her. I told you that's my secret job that I want to have one day.
We did well. I was watching.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun that day.
It was.
I really enjoyed that. All right, so anything else on the big, beautiful bill we should know about?
Yeah.
There's so many parts to it.
There really are. You will always find something in there that will benefit you.
Was it? I mean, I know this was a fight to get this thing passed. Mike Johnson did a great job, did he not?
He really did. It's like I think he equated it to walking across the Grand Canyon on dental floss is how he felt after he got through that. But, you know, all of the committees did their part. We all put forward our segment of the bill. And, you know, it was just really a joyous moment when we finally passed it. I believe it was 1 a.m. When it finally went through. But, yes, kudos to Speaker Mike Johnson, Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Can we talk for a minute how cool it is to be from Louisiana right now?
It's pretty amazing.
Wow. First time in history, right? I may be wrong, but I think it's the first time in history that we've ever had a speaker and a leader from the same state. So what an incredible just blessing for Louisiana right now.
Well, it's kind of neat to have you on the Appropriations Committee,
thank
too.
You. That's
well, of course.
Really awesome.
Talk to me about life on the Appropriations Committee. This has got to be a tough deal.
Yeah, so we're hopeful. You know, we'll go back. We have to get things passed before the government runs out of funding on September 30th, so no small feat. But I'm always a believer in what we do on appropriations. We write the budget bills for the country. And, you know, that's not on the mandatory spending side. So we fund the defense, we fund Veterans Affairs, agriculture, you know, all of those things that are near and dear to so many lives here in our country. So I take that role very seriously. And while I believe way too many of your tax dollars are going up to Washington, while they're there, I'm going to fight for them to come back home to Louisiana. So.
Well, we appreciate you fighting the good fight.
Absolutely.
Now, it must be like drinking from a fire hose with all the stuff coming at you on that committee.
Absolutely, it sure is. But, you know, I'm so fortunate to be on these wonderful subcommittees within appropriations. So you have appropriations as a whole, and then you have these 3 subcommittees that you have the honor of serving on, and agriculture being one, labor, HHS, Health and Human Services, and that encompasses my love for education and healthcare, and then state and foreign operations. So never a dull moment on those subcommittees, but it really is an honor to kind of put a pulse on the purse strings, and it really feels like for the first time we've opened up the books. And I've always said sunshine is the best medicine. Like, let's look at these programs and see, are they truly benefiting the American people? And I really think that's all the administration, and really for that matter, DOJ was looking at.
Well, I was going to go there. Since you brought it up, let's go there now. What did you think of the DOJ and what's going on?
Yeah, again, anytime you can take a look at where can we cut back. $37 trillion in debt. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that. But
I don't think anyone can.
But I do know that we are leaving that on the backs of our children and our next generation, and that's not fair to them. And so we've got to start somewhere, even if you take small bites out of the apple, as long as you're doing something to move it in the right direction. And I think that's exactly what DOJ was trying to do. And so I'm excited to see what will come next from the administration. I hear there will be more rescissions packages.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of waste that we can go after in the federal government.
Well, I would second that.
Yes.
I think a lot of people would.
Sure.
Sure. You're also part of the Republican Steering Committee, right?
Yes.
So explain what that is and how it works.
Well, that is a really cool kind of insider baseball committee
Right.
that you have to work hard. You're elected by your region, and my region happens to be Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And so you kind of go to bat for your regional representatives if they are trying to go for a committee appointment, or if they're trying to chair a certain committee. And so there's about 30-ish representatives on steering, and so what an honor, what an incredible honor. So I get to meet with all of the incoming freshmen as well to see what their committee appointments would like, where they would like to end up. But I have one vote on that very special committee, but I use it wisely, and what an incredible honor to be elected by your peers. It's been
when
really
you were a
special.
freshman, you had to go through that.
I did. Oh, I did. You know what? Going for that seat on appropriations was probably harder than running for Congress.
I believe that.
Yes.
I believe that. Let's talk about redistricting a little
Sure.
bit. You know what's going on in Louisiana.
Yes.
First of all, your district changed.
It did.
Explain that, how that changed.
Do you know I've never run in the same district twice?
Really?
I never
I guess
have.
that's right.
Yes, and I never thought that that's how it would be. No one, I just wasn't prepared. I thought that we had the census every 10 years, and then that's your district, and that's that. That is not the case, as we're seeing even nationwide what's happening in other states. So yes, my district changed this last time. I still have the honor of representing Northeast Louisiana, which is where I was born and raised in Monroe. But I also picked up, I actually go to the toe of the boot, so all the way to Washington Parish, and then kind of curved down a little bit and picked up parts of Livingston, a little sliver of Ascension, and then East Baton Rouge area. So yeah, you know what? I had 24 parishes before, and I'm trending in the right direction. Now I have 21.
21 now. Okay, well, good deal.
Yes.
Not so much to watch out for, but you know what the one everybody's talking about, of course, is District 6. I don't know if you want to comment on that or not. If you don't, just tell me you won't. We won't go there. But I've talked with Cleo many times about that, and he said, with all the time I've spent in Congress, there's never been a day that I was in Congress that the district I represented wasn't being challenged. And that's true, going back to his previous stint. And we had a big Supreme Court another hearing, I guess, coming up in mid-October. I just wondered your thoughts overall. You don't have to get specific, but about the redistricting fight in Louisiana.
Yeah. You know what? The way it's been set up, unless the Supreme Court says otherwise, that's up to the state legislature. And so I don't really have a say in it.
No, I know you don't.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
But it does affect how you do your job.
It does. But again, I come from this world that I was never supposed to be here. It's not lost on me that we have to make every single day that we have count, and I live my life that way. So whatever come what may in the future, I'll be ready and willing to go for it.
Well, you mentioned that you were never supposed to be here, or you thought you weren't supposed to be here.
That's right.
And I think most people in Louisiana probably know the story.
Sure.
Do you mind talking about it?
Not at all.
Kind of recount for us how this occurred.
Yeah, so many of you know my husband Luke was, I'm pretty sure he popped out of the womb knowing he wanted to run for office one day. That was never on my radar. I was going to be in higher education. I love academia, and I love being in front of a classroom. It's where I feel most at home. But God had other plans, and Luke ran for this office, and tragically we lost him to COVID 5 days before he was set to be sworn in. And I just had a peace from the Lord that this is the path that He had me destined to go down. And He's opened every door since, and it's been the honor of a lifetime to serve the people. It's been given me so much purpose and also healing. So it's been an incredible ride.
It's been healing for you?
Absolutely. Anytime you can get outside of yourself and serve other people, I think that helps aid in the grieving process.
Well, and how are your kids doing?
Oh, they're so wonderful.
They're doing good?
They are so good, yes. 7 and 5. Jeremiah's 7, Jacqueline's 5 now. Okay. So they've never known anything else. They've been along on this ride with me, and they can pick out all of the monuments now and all of the Supreme Court, the Library of Congress. And what an incredible experience for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to D.C. a little bit right now, and first of all, how is it being around President Trump and his administration? And they're moving at the speed of light. It's incredible. How does Congress react? How do you feel about all of that?
Well, this is my first experience to have a Republican president and a Republican administration, and then all the secretaries that go with that.
Right.
And wow, it's an incredible experience. When I came in, I was in the minority, and I don't want to go back there. There's so much more you can do in the majority, and I got to tell you, it feels a bit like whiplash every day. You don't know what's coming down from the White House, but in all the best ways possible too, because again, just like you said, speed of light, and I think he's delivering on the promises that he made, but also the mandate that we received in November, that we better deliver for the American people. It's
amazing though that everything Trump does, everything is like challenged and taken to court, and I mean, it's just kind of amazing. It gets exhausting after a while.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm sure it's even more exhausting to them. But I know he's surrounded by a great team and a legal team as well, and was kind of prepared, it felt like, this second time around for what they were going to throw at him. So
yeah, no doubt about that. And I think it helps to have Mike Johnson as the speaker. He seems to work incredibly well with Trump.
Oh, goodness, yes. I mean, the speaker will tell you this. He's a constitutional lawyer, so who better to run something by? Hey, speaker, is this what this means? So
I mean, they just seem to make a great team.
They do.
They take a lot of criticism, both of them. You see it.
Sure.
I mean, you do too. Everybody up there does.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Just like forget about it and go about your business?
Yeah, well, some of the best words of wisdom I received is just turn it off. Julia, don't go on social media. Those are keyboard warriors, and just keep doing the job that the Lord destined for you and put on your heart to do.
Yeah. I'm with you. I have no time for the social media stuff. I just don't deal with it. What do you think about the troops in the streets of Washington, D.C.?
I'm ecstatic because I live there. I walk to and from work every day. And again, my kids are up there quite a bit too. We shouldn't feel scared walking up and down our streets. And
do you feel a little scared?
Sometimes, yeah. There are times when it's late night votes and you're walking back home. And now the Capitol Police have been wonderful to me, and thankfully I live close enough in that they'll kind of work with me to make sure I get back home safely. But not everybody has that luxury. I understand that, and especially in our capital region, we wanted it to be a safe place for people to come bring their kids and come visit and be able to walk around and not fear, being held at gunpoint or what have you. So something had to happen, and I'm glad that he's restoring law and order.
I mean, again, that's another issue where there's all this negative pushback, but I just can't imagine fighting against wanting people to be safe.
Yes, and your children to be safe. And he's cleaning up the city that desperately needed it. So I'm all for it. Let's do Chicago next.
I think that's kind of what he intended. I don't know how far those powers extend, but I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
I guess we'll find out. It's been 20 years now since Katrina hit the state of Louisiana. That's a while back, but what are your memories of that time?
It's wild. I had moved to Florida for graduate school the week before it happened, and so I am in Florida, and everybody was nervous then. But to see the largest storm I've ever witnessed in my life head straight towards my home state was scary to watch.
Well, it made some big changes. It did some in education, right? It led to a lot more charter schools.
That's right. Yes. So we've had a lot of reform. We've had a lot of changes come out of it. We're trying to reform FEMA right now to make sure that is there when people need it most.
Well, that was kind of even back then that was a big deal. They didn't really respond well to the people in Katrina, right?
Yeah. So something needs to happen. We're going to keep having these natural disasters. We have them in California with fires, which just happened in Texas with the flooding. So we need those security options in place. We just need the right people running them and efficiency.
So when you're done with recess,
Yes.
And you head back to Washington, D.C. What's on the agenda?
Well, we have to pass these appropriations bills. We
Yeah,
have to
right.
get them through or decide how we're going to continue the budget. I know the president is not a fan of shutting down the government, nor am I, or the speaker. I heard him this morning say he's not a fan of that either. So we need to do our jobs and continue funding the government. So that's really going to be top of mind.
So what's the battle going to be about this time? Is the amount of money? Is that it? Is always that, right?
Always that, and we're running out of time. So
Yeah.
September 30th is our cutoff date, and we can either work together as a team or go back to other options which are not favorable, in my opinion. So I'm hopeful, because that is literally what we do on appropriations,
Right.
is craft those bills every year,
Yeah.
and we want that good work to see its way all the way through.
Talk to me about working through the process of one of those bills. How difficult is it to get done?
Well, everybody represents the district where they came from, and I
Sure.
understand that, and they all have their interest in serving their constituents in mind. But it should really be a give and take process and a true compromising exercise. And I think sometimes we lack that a bit. In being able to get these appropriations bills across the finish line, especially with a majority that's razor thin.
Yeah.
The bigger the majority, I think the easier time you have getting them through. But we'll see.
So speaking of that razor thin majority, what's looking ahead a little bit? What are your thoughts on? Do you think the Republican Party will be able to grow that majority?
I do. I share Speaker Mike Johnson's opinion and being bullish on this, that we have the momentum behind us. We're delivering for the American people. They're liking what they're seeing. And I think that they're going to come back out and vote to keep us back in charge. Because, again, we've been able to do that with a razor-thin majority. Just think what we could do, how we could expound on that even more if we had just a little bit of a higher ceiling over there on the Republican side.
What are your? I'm all over the place here.
Sure.
I apologize, but so what are your thoughts on what Trump has been able to do with the border and illegal immigration? And
Yeah.
I mean, he did that in like no time, right?
Well, it just goes to show you, the Biden administration said, "Oh, you have to pass new laws for us to secure our border."
Right.
That was not the case.
Yeah.
All we needed was a new president, and I mean, zero crossings.
Yeah.
And so I think that has just put the American people's minds at ease. We were concerned parents.
Sure.
We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the healthcare system. We don't have the educational system
Right.
to handle an influx like we saw. And so it's going to take us some time to nurse those wounds.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that things are headed in the right direction. I think the American people.
Some of those wounds are still pretty raw
Yeah.
from illegal immigrants. The one that really pops into my mind the most was in Athens, Georgia. The young lady's name just. I'm getting old, and I
Lakin.
Lakin
Yes.
Riley. Thank you. Because my daughter is a reporter in
Yeah.
Atlanta, and she
Yeah.
covered that story.
Right.
And so those kinds of things are the things that wouldn't be happening
Right.
had that illegal immigration
That's
not
right.
been allowed to take place.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, who's to say if other things wouldn't have happened, but we know that wouldn't have happened.
That's right.
So,
And that hits home
Yeah.
as a parent, and or even as a
Sure.
young woman in college. You don't think that you have to worry about those things. Yeah.
it is. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that. And we touched on it a little bit, but since Mike's from here, we talk
Yeah.
about Mike Johnson every time we get a chance. How easy? I mean, look, you and Mike and Scalise and Kennedy was just, I guess, the darling of the DC media.
Yes.
I guess, and Bill Cassidy, who'll be here tomorrow, by the way.
Great.
I mean, we have a lot of. We're hitting hard up there in Washington,
Tell you what,
D.C.
punching above our weight is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the speaker's doing wonderful. I don't know how he does it. Last time I was with him, I said, "Can I get you an energy drink?" I mean, he said there's not enough energy drinks in the world to be able to keep up with that pace. But he's a faith-filled man. I know that he is. Relying on his faith to get him through, and he's just doing an amazing job.
Is he just? I mean, like Mike seems to me to be just the kind of just as a person, the way he is. But he can just deal with people.
That's right.
And they respect him, and they...
He does. He has a way of disarming those who kind of get riled up, because we're an unruly bunch over in the House of Representatives, and we can get fired up. But he has this calming piece about him and energy, and just is able to, again, thread that needle that I've never seen anybody be able to do it like him.
It's pretty amazing.
Yes.
So what's next on your recess agenda?
Yeah, so I am going to do this, and then tomorrow I'm going to speak to some veterans and talk to them, thank them for their service. I might take my daughter with me. She loves to thank veterans for their service.
Good for her.
And then what am I doing? Oh, I'll probably go speak to a group of Republican women down in Baton Rouge tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, and then start gearing up to go back up to DC. So yep. The party never ends.
How has your reception been in the reconfigured new district?
Oh, amazing. You know, my mom said, you have to see the silver lining in this. Strangers are just friends waiting to be met. And that has been so the case. They have welcomed me with open arms. And it's just been a really great experience to meet new people. So, yeah. What an incredible experience.
Has there been any messages you'd like to, we're pretty close to the end of our time here. Anything you want to tell the folks as we wrap up?
It's just the honor of a lifetime to represent you in Congress. And every single day, I try to make every single second count. So
I feel like I was all slouched over here. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
Look, you've done a great job in Congress. You really have. You came in under some amazingly stressful conditions.
Sure.
You've really risen through the ranks rapidly. I think everybody is really proud of you.
Thank you. That means the world to me.
All right. Well, listen, we've been talking with Congresswoman Julia Letlow. She represents Louisiana's 5th District on the Appropriations Committee, doing a fantastic job up in Washington, D.C. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, Julia Letlow. Thanks for you being here, watching this edition of The App with Arklatex People and Politics. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, on all the major podcast platforms and all the KTBS digital platforms. Thanks again, Julia.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Have a good one, everybody.